Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans, and sports entertainment fans, welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair.
I am Jay Tilly.
Jay Dilly! Man,
Yay!
oh man. I am really digging what the WWE is doing, and it might be my WWE brain. I can't wait to hear your thoughts over the last couple days of WWE programming. And man, we are heading to SummerSlam, and all this talk of SummerSlam premium live event and all in and all out. Man, talk to me. What do you think?
Yeah, there's at least yeah, I'm pretty pumped about SummerSlam. One thing I'll always give WWE is the fact that they don't skimp on their pay-per-views, that's for sure. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
premium live events.
premium.
So when even when I wasn't watching Monday and Friday all the time, I still kind of watch the premium live events cuz they tend to put on bangers no matter what. So they know how to come out and do their thing and wrestle. And yeah, I don't think SummerSlam. There's a few matches on the SummerSlam card, which maybe towards the end of the podcast we'll do like a SummerSlam preview kind of
Yeah.
recap. Got to keep them on the hook, keep the viewers interested. But we'll take a look at that because yeah, there's a few matches on that card that I'm really looking forward to.
Heck
Maybe
yeah.
not the ones you think either.
Uh-oh.
So
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun card. We're sitting here watching the WWE setup, and they're releasing tickets for premium live events in advance, and they're selling out, lickety split. Well, those are not stadium shows; those are arena, so it's like indoors, 15 to 19,000, which is still a lot of tickets. But dude, I think by the time we get to All In, it's going to be 80,000. 80 freaking thousand. And that's freaking awesome. I'm so excited for AEW and what they got going on.
yeah, I mean, maybe we could save this for our Thursday show, but I've got some hesitations on the build for All In right now. There's so last Wednesday and Collision, finally they started talking about it, but I don't see directions they're going yet. Like I can guess, but you think with the amount of people buying tickets already, and maybe that's why. Maybe they're like, hey, we've already sold almost 80,000 tickets. Let's keep everybody in suspense. But I'd like to see some kind of build for it because this is going to be, in all reality, their biggest pay per view ever. So you think they'd want to build the hype up and try to get over that 90,000, which would be amazing.
Whew.
Uh, man, I just can't imagine. But we'll hold that off till Thursday because I am very curious. I have a feeling this AEW 200 episode is going to build some things because there's some matches on there that I could see breaking off into different directions.
Yeah.
So I'd be curious to see because right now, if you ask me, I have no idea what the Elite's going to be doing. I have no idea. I've got some idea what Punk's going to be doing, maybe, but are we going to get MJF Adam Cole? Like, there's so many. Eh. So we'll see, we'll see. But let's keep this focused on the Raw and SummerSlam
Yeah.
because, yeah, like you said, WWE's got some stuff going on.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really digging the Alpha Academy. I think that whole work that's being done, I think it's hilarious. Master Gable teaching Dupree. Of course, we have Judgment Day that is just a license to print money on Monday, just like the Bloodline is for Friday. And kudos to creative and giving Finn and the crew just here's your bullet points, and then of course you have the worst son on the planet, Rey Mysterio's
Boo.
devil offspring. But man, he can't even get a word out. He just inhales, and they're lighting him up.
Yep.
So I think it's awesome. Looks like we're gonna see a little bit of a Shinsuke Nakamura heel turn, which heel Nakamura I think puts him in line for maybe he has another run with the Intercontinental title,
So
or Yeah,
What?
I don't know.
So you brought up this thing, Shinsuke Nakamura, and this is one of the things I want to talk about on this show specifically. So they brought Champa back, and I'm thinking, all right, we're gonna get a good Champa run. Then he gets the jobber entrance and gets beat, and I was like, what? And so the story they're built, and it's been a Shinsuke problem too since he came to Raw. Everything he's done has either been a disqualification with the whole Bronson Reed thing and the Ricochet back and forth. Now he's doing this thing with Champa. Champa gets the jobber entrance. He's just in the ring. He didn't even get an entrance. And I'm like, what happened to trying to build back up DYI and going after Owens and Sammy, which everybody was dream dream matching? So I had some issues with that. And I was thinking when they announced that match, I'm like, oh, damn, this ought to be really good. And it was okay. So yeah, I'm a little concerned on that build and the story they're trying to say there. Maybe it's going to be a slow burner, and when we get to Payback, it'll be a bigger, like, we'll be more invested in it. Because obviously they're not going to slam it onto the Summers. I would think they're not going to put it on SummerSlam, but because
Yeah.
you put those two guys in the ring and give them freedom to do a 20-minute match,
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine it being a stinker.
Yeah, that would definitely be something. The DIY thing, I think that's on hold because Gargano was hurt. So yeah, that's what I was expecting when, and I think that's what Creative was expecting too when they brought Ciampa back in, because Gargano wasn't hurt at that time, and now all of a sudden they're like, oh shoot, what are we gonna do with him? We can't put him back with the Miz, and but yeah, I agree. Whatever direction they're thinking, I'd be interested to see how it's going to play out. I think, the way they're building Imperium, it's going to keep rising, keep taking the bar to the next level, because Gunther is next level. Now you've got Ludwig getting a little single shine and getting his stuff in. So the Garganos and the Alpha Academy, and they have to keep pace, and that's what I think right now is Ciampa's like, well, I don't come in dancing around. I'm pretty much a, a on the smaller side grappler, so I think they're just kind of in a holding pattern until Gargano is healthy, and then whatever they figure they're going to do with the tag team titles, with Owens being out for real. Yeah, I mean, this to me, this makes perfect opportunity for them to either rebrand the tag team titles or split them, put one on Monday and one on Friday. But yeah, I don't.
I just don't think WWE has enough tag teams to split them. I mean, tag team wrestling, we know Vince has never really liked it. And now,
Yeah, true.
the Usos are kind of broke up. They're doing their own thing. New Day's all out injured.
Mm,
DIY would have
that's
been a good
crazy.
one. But, you've got the Street Profits that are teaming up with Bobby Lashley now. So who knows where that storyline's going.
That's gonna be fun.
Maybe we're going to get RK Bro back. You talked about the Imperium thing, and I kind of got a hint that maybe that's what we're going to do, because with Ludwig winning clean, I was kind of surprised, because usually those guys are in there to take the beating.
Yeah,
And I was like, okay, so I thought maybe we're building for Randy to come back and we'll have RK Bro back. And then I'm thinking, all right, well, that would be a good move. I would like to see Sammy and Kevin, depending on how long Kevin's out. I don't know. I don't remember seeing anything on the status, how long he's going to be gone. It was something to do with his ribs, right? Bruise, or
right.
no. Was it storyline ribs? I don't remember. Yeah. So I'm curious to see that. Splitting it and putting on two different. I just don't think that they have enough tag teams to be able to do two different tag team champions. I think they barely have enough to do three singles or four singles champions right now, but they're making it work. And then speaking of that, man,
Yeah,
that Gunther Gable match, I had an issue with the whole 5 minute timer thing and it running out, and then Gunther demanding to continue it. But at the same time, it was one of those issues that I was okay with, because I wanted to see those guys go more, because That was an absolute masterclass in babyface wrestling from Gable, in hard hitting, just straight up in ring action. One of the better matches I've seen on WWE for a while, for sure.
Yeah, Gable's been putting it in since, I would say he really raised his bar right around the time of the Cody match.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
now,
forgot about that one.
Alpha Academy they're getting a little more screen time. Thank you is really starting to get over, and now he's having, he's in there with probably one of the most dominant intercontinental champions in, the last, 2 decades, and not that much longer until he breaks the Honky Tonk Man's record. So we're about to see a new record-setting world championship reign by Roman Reigns, and then breaking the Honky Tonk Man with Gunther, which he's making the title he's just making it awesome. With Seth being the fighting champion, I I don't. It's I almost feel like the Intercontinental title and the World title right now are equal, and it wouldn't take much for Gunther to make that championship more prestigious than the World Championship that Seth is carrying around, which really sucks because they painted themselves into a corner. But
See,
what are you gonna do?
I disagree. I think Gunther's already pushed that title higher because Seth came out and said he wanted to be this fighting champion. He's defended it three
I
times.
know, I know. Yeah,
And he's done tag team matches and other stuff. So I was like, he made this big speech. I was going to defend it every week, and he's going to do this and that. Workhorse champion. And yeah, I was trying to think the other day. I'm like, I can't tell you the no shit title defenses he's had that I was like, oh, that was a good one, except for Finn Balor. So where's the workhorse? Like, I don't know. I just didn't see it. And whereas Gunther, I feel like, is coming out and doing a workhorse title, and he's putting on really good matches, man. Again, I can't stress enough. If you did not go out and see that Gable Gunther match, minus the 5 minute time limit thing, go watch it. It made me want to go. Okay, I hope Gunther retains, which we'll talk about here in a few minutes. And I want to see Gunther and Gable in a 25-minute all out Intercontinental Championship match. Hell, I'm at the point now where I'm okay if Gable wins it. I think it'd be okay to have him take it from Gunther, and then you've got Gunther freed up to go after whoever, maybe Cody next, or you got Gunther freed up to go after the championship, and then you set up for Cody for WrestleMania in that championship. By the way, tickets go on sale for WrestleMania here pretty soon. I'm just saying.
Woo-hoo-wee.
Buymeacoffee.com to help us fund that. But
Hey.
yeah, man, Philadelphia, we got to go get some cheese steaks.
Oof.
So I got to ask you something serious though. So when we do go, are we going to get the cheesesteaks from both the places to argue about who's the best, and then we'll do a live
Oh,
review and say,
we
okay,
have
we've
to.
decided.
Yeah, we have to. We can't go in there and just, because it's on the same side of the street that we're walking down. No. We gotta.
got
We
to eat them
gotta.
both.
It's
It's
not for
sad
me.
that
It's for science.
we look at so when we did Forbidden Door at Chicago. This is first like one of the main things we did is like, all right, what foods do we want to get? All right, I want a Chicago
Yeah.
dog. We want Chicago
Yeah.
pizza, and we kind of planned our days around that. And I was like, all right, Philadelphia cheesesteaks. All right, Philadelphia
Yeah.
cheesesteaks and cheesecake. So we need to get some of that too. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, we got some food to go in Philadelphia. And
Heck
then
yeah.
next year, have they said where next year's going to be? I know there's rumors out for next WrestleMania, but I thought they said Orlando and Tampa were in the running. I don't remember now. Yeah, I don't remember. Michigan, maybe? I'll have to look it up. I know there were rumors out there about where it was going to be, but because I'm like, Tampa, Orlando, they don't have any good
Yeah.
food that I can think of.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought it was Tampa. I thought it was Tampa, and if they did it in Orlando, they could do it at the Camping World Stadium there. That's where they hold all the bowl games and stuff, which
Yep.
is it's a pretty nice stadium. Parking is, I mean, yeah, that would be wild right there. But yeah, hopefully they do it in Tampa. I mean, the WrestleMania post-COVID was there, so maybe they want to spread it out a little bit more. But no, I think Monday Night Raw definitely
Got
got
it.
me interested
I was while we were
with
talking, I remembered there's this thing called the internet. So
the interwebs. I've
I
heard of it.
looked it up. WrestleMania 41, U.S. Bank Stadium in Minnesota, Vikings hometown, is the rumored
Ooh,
location right now that they're in talks
nice.
with the backup
That's
being possibly AT&T Stadium or
oof in
SoFi. Well, I don't
Texas.
see them going back to SoFi. Yeah,
Man, let's go.
but yeah, I guess the Minnesota Vikings is the headliner right now, is the main thing. Yeah, I was like, wait, I could just do this thing called Google it instead of sitting
Yeah,
here going, I don't remember where it is.
yeah.
But
Yeah,
sorry,
but
go ahead. You were saying something.
no, yeah. So the night got me interested a little bit more in the Logan Paul Ricochet. Huge Ricochet fan. I got to talk about Lucha Underground every time I get on. If you haven't had a chance to go look, I went and watched some Taya Valkyrie matches. I watched. I saw there Thunder Rosa was on for a little bit, and then I ended up stumbling across a match with Rey Mysterio versus Will Ospreay, and I froze. I felt like I was a deer in the headlights, and I was just watching this like this is freaking phenomenal. But the WWE and creative with Ricochet and Logan Paul, I think it's going to be a great match. I think they're going to tell them when you're done flipping, flip a little more. So they're going to get in. They're going to get in an aerial attack, and it sucks because I think Ricochet is going to take the L because Logan Paul, big money, he's got to get a win because he's lost the last three matches. So kind of a
Yep,
bummer.
I agree. I was okay with the Logan Paul Ricochet stuff last week. I thought this week they kind of made Ricochet look like a little biatch. Like,
Hmm.
so Logan's being all his heel stuff, and then he offers the fist pump, and Ricochet does it. But then Logan Paul says something about his girl, so he goes to defend her honor and gets knocked out. I'm like, oof, that's not a good thing, man. Like,
No.
he should have, I don't know, they just should have done something a little different. And the implications of, Ricochet's girl calling out his name and all that, I thought was a little untasteful. But, uh, yeah, I
Oh,
just, because I was in for it. Like, I agree. I think the match, is going to be an amazing banger. And I think it's going to be one of those, as anti AEW people say, a spot fest kind of match, because I feel this is going to be kind of like a Vikingo, you know, Omega kind of match where it's going to be, well, maybe not Omega because neither one are on the level of either one of those in my opinion, but
right.
that kind of match where you're going to have spot after spot where it'll be high paced and exciting, which is going to be interesting because the card itself it's got so many variety of matches on this card. I'm really looking forward to SummerSlam. Heck, we could roll right into talking about the preview if you want, because I I think this is going to be a hell of a show. I think they've done a really good job of, like I said, you've got the spot fest kind of match coming on. Then you've got Gunther and Drew, which
Mm.
I cannot wait. Even though I think Drew's going to take the L, I think Gunther wins it, just like you said, to get um, that record, the history record there. Then you got Brock and Cody, which I'm surprised they haven't stepped up. I really thought there was going to be a stipulation match on that, but if they're going to go one on one, that's fine. Then you got the triple threat match, so there's quite a bit to go over. So I'm cool if we want to go, maybe spend the last 20 minutes of the podcast kind of talking about what we're going to see at SummerSlam, what your predictions are, and who you think is going to go over.
Let's do it, man. I appreciated Monday Night Raw. I thought it was a good show. I slapped it with three beards, and it got me interested more in a storyline that I already enjoy because Logan Paul made it personal when he
Yeah.
talked about Ricochet's girl. So yeah, I'm in. I can't wait. And yeah, three beards for Monday Night.
Yep, I did. I did Three Beards also. It was decent. I wasn't one of the best Raws I've seen, but it was good for a Raw. Like I said, I think I was probably leaning towards more of the 2.5 until the Chad Gable Gunther match because
Yeah.
that was so good. Even the main event kind of went meh to me because it was very predictable what was going to happen with the Judgment Day and everything. But um, before we get onto that, the main event, the handing over the briefcase to Damian Priest to cash in, I get what they were going for. I just didn't think it was very well performed, if that makes sense. Like, I understood it was being like, oh, do I really want him to win this? But at the same time, he didn't like pause enough, or he didn't kind of like hold it back enough. It was just it didn't come off as well as I think it was supposed to. Or I'm reading it wrong and it wasn't supposed to come off that way at all, and they're all on the same page, and that's going to be that because he kind of here you go, let's do it. So maybe they're getting away from teasing breaking up the Judgment Day, which I'm fine with because I think they're good and they should keep this stable. We're going through a big breakup right now with the Bloodline, so keeping them together for a while, I don't think's a big deal. But I just want to, before we moved on to SummerSlam, I wanted to get your opinion on that because I thought it was just very strange.
Yeah, the instead of a half a heartbeat that he paused, it should have been more of a noticeable, almost to the point where the crowd would go, and you'd be able to get that almost audible sound where the crowd is like, oh, he did it, he gave it to him, okay. Um, but yeah, I thought it was odd that Finn ran back
Yeah,
to away from ringside, and I liked how they played Finn sort of against himself, and the confliction after episode after episode. Nope, we're good here. We're good here. Now we're gonna start seeing, the sort of the nicks and chinks in the armor, but now, like you said, which I think is a perfect, you know, um, perfect part of the art or the suspended belief is, well, they have to have a stable that, because we're going to lose Bloodline. Now it looks like we're going to get the Hurt Business 2.0. And what would be awesome is if we were to get Hurt Business 2.0 with Bianca Bell freaking Air. That
agreed.
would be sick.
And
That would be.
I could see that happening because of all the good stuff we're getting from the Judgment Day and Rhea Ripley. So McMahon or Papa H or whoever sitting in the back could go, "Hey, this is working to have a female in the mix. Let's do it." And then you could have 2.0 versus Judgment Day, and you've got an
Oh, man.
even setup of a stable. And now you got Bianca and Rhea, and then you could do the Street Profits versus Dom and Finn, and Bobby Lashley versus Priest. Like all those spinoffs would be fantastic. The Now I'm going on a little bit of a tangent before we get into SummerSlam. The thing that really irritates me about the whole Seth Rollins Finn Balor thing is the story is good if they wouldn't have pretended it never happened, like up until now. Like I remember Seth Rollins and Finn Balor being a tag team. I remember them palling around and having a good time. So now he's doing these promos talking about how, oh, for 7 years I've hated you and I wanted. I'm like, yeah, but have you? Like it?
Yeah.
I don't think that's true, Finn. Now you could probably get it now that he's got the belt. It's motivated him more, but I just like that's my only complaint about the. I love that they're rehashing that story, and then hey, you put me out, and I was the first ever Universal Champion. I held it for 24 hours and had to relinquish it. But don't like treat me like I'm a goldfish. I remember them being a team. I remember them working together and not grumpy Finn. Rah, rah, rah. He was happy Finn for a while. So like him coming out and saying, I've been, I looked in the mirror every day for 7 years. I'm like, yeah, I don't think
Every
that's
day.
true. Yeah, maybe since your buddy won the briefcase, but
Yeah.
not every day. So
Yeah.
that's all. I wanted to touch on that because I was just a little irritated at that when he cut that promo, but I still think their match is going to be great at SummerSlam. So let's
Yeah.
roll into that then. Let's talk
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Oof. Yeah. Let's go.
Where do you want to start? The outstanding battle royal.
I mean,
Hey,
if that is the only way that you're going to get my guy, LA Knight, on the damn SummerSlam, this guy needs to have a rocket. Instead, he's over here like standing on a piece of paper to get higher. Like that's not much higher, man.
Nope.
But yeah, he's got to come out the either winner or the last guy thrown out and go into a program with who's ever going to be the winner. And I just hope it's not Lashley. Last
Oh,
time we saw him was in a
yeah.
damn battle royal. So, damn, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting the. I think you'll get all the jitters out if that was what was going to open. But yeah, I think if LA Knight doesn't win it, we have really, really missed the mark on Mr. LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's something we could talk about in another podcast is why he's not getting that push. I wouldn't mind like maybe trying to deep dive into that a little bit. Like what is it? Is it we like the catchphrase and everything, but the ring work's not as good? Like I don't know. I'd be curious to hash it out with you. Maybe in the future to come, we will discuss this.
There we go.
Oh, we should totally do one of most overrated and underrated wrestlers because there's a couple that I think are like Darby Allin. I think is one of the most underrated wrestlers there is,
Mm.
and then LA Knight. No, I'm not gonna say he's overrated because I really like him too. But I think there's a couple overrated wrestlers that I'm like, really? But yeah, I'll pencil that down. We'll have to hold that one when our schedules free up more. We can cut some more of those candid conversations.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm aligned. I think it's going to be LA Knight also. I do love that it's the Slim Jim, and I really hope they do something with Macho Man in it. Like,
Oh my
give me a
God.
snap into a Slim Jim or something because
Yeah.
as soon as they said that's the first thing I thought about was, oh, they're doing a Macho Man Battle Royal. No, it's Slim Jim, but, it's the first thing you think of. Oh, yeah, snap into a Slim Jim.
Have
Like immediately got nostalgic when I heard that, so that was pretty
yeah.
cool. Uh,
Have maybe they have someone from you know WWE past. What was McMahon Hornswoggle? Have Hornswoggle come down dressed like a little Macho Man or something, and then he gets thrown
yeah,
out immediately, and he just sits there and like snaps a
snaps
Slim
into a
Jim or
Slim
something.
Jim.
But
Or
yeah.
hell, have LA Knight come out carrying a Slim Jim, dressed like
Oh
Macho Man.
man, let's
You know,
go.
have the tights and everything the color of the Macho Man's, and if you want to really pop the crowd. But
That-
then we've got the MMA rules match with Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. Fantastic job on Raw building this feud. Absolutely loved those video packages. Love the pictures of them being friends. Love the story of, oh, you can live free with me, but you got to get beat up every day. I loved all that. I thought,
yeah.
what a way to build it. Like, it made me want to go, I don't want to see this in WWE. Let's see this in UFC. Like, I want to see this fight. So the fact that it's an MMA rules match, I'm very curious how they're going to tiptoe around this.
Yeah, with Ronda Rousey being a Hall of Famer, the baddest woman on the planet, and on her way out from the WWE, you have to assume. I know spell assume makes an ass out of you and me, but I think Shayna goes over. She uses Ronda's elbow lock, and Ronda is never seen in a WWE ring again.
I agree. I think I'm right there with you. I think it's going to be Shayna, and I think she beats her. Yeah, maybe by the armbar. If not, she'll choke her out. But the rumor is Ronda wants to go back to UFC and do some real fighting, as she said. So, be curious to see how that all turns out. But
Wow.
yep, I'm right there with you, and hopefully, this will be what we could push Shayna Baszler to because it's interesting because I think when she turned on Ronda, everybody expected Shayna to become the heel, and everybody would cheer Ronda. And I think it's a good job that they pivoted against that. And we're like, okay, well, everybody kind of cheered when she beat up Ronda, so we'll flip it. And because now you can have a face Shayna Baszler and a heel Rhea Ripley down the road. And tell me that's not a match that would be just hard hitting and fantastic to see because I think you're going to get probably Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea at probably Payback. But then you could totally build up Shayna over the next few months, and you could even have Shayna and Rhea. I think that's a WrestleMania match if they build Shayna right, for sure.
Yeah, I didn't even know I wanted to see that until right now. Like that's that's awesome. Those two have stayed away from each other because their trajectories have taken them in different directions. But I'm right there with you. I think Shayna is awesome. Her being able to sort of show her ability to talk on the stick is awesome, and this is going to be a great passing of the torch to from Ronda to Shayna, and I hope this is just the start of the build. And yeah, like you said, 5 6 months down the road, we're in a town that we may be in, and maybe not. Yeah, because I want to see the women main event one of the nights, and I don't know. You would really have to build Shayna next
Agreed.
level. But I definitely think one of the women's titles needs to be, especially just the quality of matches that Rhea has put on in the past. You're always getting awesome matches um, from and I'm a big Mia Kim fan. I think she puts on great matches. So the women's champion and the undisputed champion, both they're both putting on great matches. So I'm yeah, I'm right there. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's going to be a good one, and like I said, hopefully strap a rocket to Shayna and take her to the moon on it. Especially
Hmm.
watching those video promos. Like, I always kind of was like, she's not really good on the mic. Don't put her on the mic. Do those preset interviews because it felt real. It felt raw. When she got emotional, I'm like, all right. Up until when she got mad and stormed out of the room, I'm like, all right, that was a little overboard. But because that didn't feel as real as everything else felt pretty real, so it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then you got Logan Paul and Ricochet. We kind of touched on it a little bit. I'm aligned with you. I think it's going to be a high flying, adrenaline rush kind of match, and I think Logan Paul goes over because you have to put him over, and I don't
Right.
see putting Ricochet over personally.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Unfortunately, not right now.
so then we've got one of the matches that I think could be match of the night, and that's Gunther and Drew McIntyre.
Mm.
I think this is going to be a hard hitting. I'm glad to see them both one on one. I kind of wish it was Sheamus and Gunther, and you were giving it to Sheamus to let him have all those titles. But I'm okay if it's Gunther and Drew. I think it's gonna be a really good match. Gunther is just so good. Every time I see him, I'm like, man, he's really good.
Yeah.
And I think he comes out the winner in this match just because I think they're going to try to break the record because they want to refresh all their record books and blah blah blah. However, they could give it to Drew too. My only thing is they've booked it to where so Drew's been gone. You've built him up as like, oh, this returning hero, and then you're gonna beat him. Yes, it's WWE, so that's probably how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
But I think it's Gunther, whether it's with shenanigans on the outside or clean. I'm not sure. Probably with the shenanigans just to protect Drew a little. But the only thing, if you do shenanigans, then you got to set up a rematch, and now you're running a longer. Yeah, I'm not sure. Uh, I don't know. I definitely see Gunther winning. I just don't know if it's gonna be clean or not.
So if there's shenanigans in the back, that means that he's going to have to align with someone. And right now he's with Riddle, which means it'd be Riddle, um, Drew, and a returning Randy freaking Orton. So
Yeah.
that would be a lot of fun. Do you want Randy in the ring against Imperium outside of Gunther? He'd be the one obviously elevating the talent and giving them the rub. So that would be a lot of fun just to see the returning Randy, because I think he's going to return in the same character he was before he
Yeah.
got hurt, only because you know that was what Randy referred to as having fun.
Right.
So, but I think Drew, I could see shenanigans like you said, but then it builds up a um, like a rubber match essentially, or another match, which then could be good because then he beats Honky Tonk Man's record, and then Drew is the one that takes the title. He continues to elevate the title, um, And then Gunther goes off against Seth or whoever the world champion is. Because, I mean, you get Imperium as the tag team champions. Um, his fingers right here.
They're
You
so
get
good.
get them as tag team champions, and Gunther. You could clearly, easily, all day, twice on Monday, see Gunther wearing that world heavyweight
Oh,
championship. He's
100%.
got the presence. He's got the it. And now that he's got the new figure, he looks just shredded.
Yep.
And yeah, I think that'd be an easy sell. So I think Gunther comes out the victor. Good chance there's some shenanigans. That way, it sort of protects McIntyre a little bit because, like you said, he's the returning hero.
Yep. Yeah, and then the rumor is Dragunov is supposed to be joining Imperium too. So you bring RKO back, and then they got one more with KO being out. You could bring Seth over, and now you're setting up the program that could turn out Gunther and Seth, or you bring Sammy
Oh
over.
yeah,
There's some options they've got for sure. Or you bring Cody to help, although he's not really tied with any of them.
yeah.
Well, the only one that would be tied anyway would be Seth because he and Randy kind of had some run in. I don't know, but yeah, because they bring man. Now you're building war games and all kinds of good stuff that can come out of this. Give me the pencil, boss. I want to write. I
Yeah.
want to predict. I want to write. Let me go. I miss this. I miss us talking about this and planning it out.
And now we're still sitting here. Where the hell's Brown Breaker been?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
is he going to be one that's going to show up? Probably at the Battle Royal. Um, he, if he were to throw LA Knight out, Brown Breaker wins the Slim Jim Battle Royal. He's elevated. Now he's in a program, but how do you get LA Knight, being
Yeah.
elevated? So that's yeah, it was a back to the Battle
Interesting.
Royal. God dang it. But
Yep.
no, I think little shenanigans, and that's going to be interesting with Dragunov because I thought for sure he was going to beat Carmelo for that world title. But if, Carmelo may stay down there a little bit longer till they build someone else up to take the title with Braun Breaker getting ready to transition over and, whoever they think is the next guy. I thought maybe not.
Yeah. Rumor has it they're calling him up, so that might be why he didn't win it. It was his last hurrah, and they're gonna call him up, and then
I don't know.
maybe they're gonna build Gable Stevenson. Just kidding. Talk about one of the worst debuts ever. Like,
Seriously.
anyway.
Oh,
So then you get the women's championship match: Asuka, Charlotte, Flair, and Bianca Belair. I've always I feel like they forget Asuka's the champion because I feel like this match is all about Bianca and Charlotte. However, I think Asuka's going to win it.
yeah.
I think Asuka. I think they get so mad at each other in her inner fighting that she's going to slip in and get a win, and we're going to get Io Sky versus Asuka down the road, and I cannot wait for that match. This match, I'm not a Charlotte Flair guy. I don't. Speaking of overrated, underrated, I think she's overrated. I think,
Yeah.
and I can't pinpoint it because she used to be very good. Like I remember some of her matches with Bailey and Sasha Banks and Becky, but now I'm starting to wonder if those three were really good and maybe not as much her. Because then I think of matches like the Nia Jax match and the Rhea Ripley match originally, where it just looks sloppy. No, that one actually, I don't. The Ronda match, that's what I meant. The Ronda match, it just everything looked kind of sloppy. So now I'm like, is her heart really not into it? Because even the feud right now, like she's cutting promos and she's losing herself. She is the in ring work. I forgot who she took on. I think it was last week, but I just felt like she was just there and didn't really want to be there. Maybe it was Io Sky she took on. I just felt it was just kind of like I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm not a
It
huge
felt like,
Charlotte fan right now.
yeah. It felt like this was one of her contractually required appearances,
Yeah,
and she just kind of went through the motions, which sucks because, Io Sky is Io Sky, and then she has the briefcase, and then you treat her that way. So I was just like,
Yep.
Come on, man. We gotta do a little bit better. And there's a lot of superstars on the WWE roster, and she could be doing, you know, just like John Cena and some of the and Kurt Angle would do the open ring or open United States Championship, and people would come out. I think that could be something that she could have done instead of doing EO that way. Yeah, I don't dislike Flair, but I think right now she's just there to win two more championships, and she probably heads over to AEW with her hubby. So
Yeah,
uh,
if she does that, because I heard she wants to get into bodybuilding and stuff. Like, I almost feel like she doesn't have a passion for wrestling right now,
yeah,
just from the performances I've seen. So, you say the AEW thing, and I'm like, I don't really want to see her in AEW. I don't particularly. I did. I used to think it would be great to see her in Brit and all that, but now I'm just like, first of all, AEW's booking women like crap too. So until they get a good women's division working, maybe. But yeah, because even looking at like the Tony Storm matches, like Tony Storm is amazing in
yeah,
AEW, and then I remember looking at like the WWE stuff, and I was like, why are we up on Tony Storm? And then I'd look at her NXT, oh okay, or her UK stuff. I'm like, oh, she's really good. And then
yeah. The UK,
the
whew,
two pie Tony or whatever they called her, I was like, come on now.
yeah, that was crap. I'm glad they released her and allowed her to, get healthy and get her mind right, and
Yep.
to now, um, be a two-time women's champion and just freaking awesome. So
Yeah, they're
I
gonna have a
cannot.
banger on SmackDown or SmackDown
Oh,
on Dynamite. Her and
yeah,
Sheeta, that'll be a good one.
yeah. I
But
just
that's
keep
for another
waiting.
podcast.
Like I think you know WWE is able to sell WrestleMania by name alone,
Yep.
and from here on forward, the talk of All In will immediately provoke 60,000 tickets or whatever. So I think
Assuming they
marketing.
put on a good show.
Oh,
So this
how
could flop.
like
They could do 70,000 something
oh
people and put on
man,
an awful card, and then that won't happen. If they do the right things and book it right
yeah.
and put on a show that, like Forbidden Door now, you say Forbidden Door and it's selling pretty quick. So,
That's true.
yeah. But I
As
agree.
long
I
as it
think if they do it
yeah.
right, yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's not one of those wonky silent crowd, which I don't know how 80,000 people couldn't be loud, but
No.
like the show in Vegas
Oh,
when
Double
it
or
was
Nothing,
just
yeah.
like just wah wah. Yeah, they were tired and whatever, but man, you gotta bring it for stuff like that, especially you know. And I don't want to say, oh well, you can get away with it with Peacock with the subscription because you're only paying $10 a month, and that's one of the perks. Whereas when you sit down and you drop 50 $60, and I watch it on my laptop. Some people are watching it on TV or however you're catching it, but I think yeah, I don't see how SummerSlam is going to sell itself. All In will forever sell itself just by name alone, and I'm super excited to see what they've got going on. But this card coming in a stadium in Detroit is really going to be, whew, it's going to be awesome. I would love to see Matt Cardona show up too.
You
That'd
just
be
want him to show
awesome.
up anywhere.
Seriously, man.
But are you aligned? You think Asuka's got this one?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like you said, I think they'll.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Asuka.
Yeah, I missed most of what you said except for the Asuka part. Your
Oh,
audio
the
cut out
most
on us.
the most dangerous move in all of wrestling, the surprise roll up, I think, is what's going to get
Oh,
her the victory, because Bianca and Charlotte are going to get so distracted with each other.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Then we got Seth Rollins, Finn Balor. Pretty cut and dry. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Seth Rollins. I would be surprised if it's not, if it's Finn, but at the same time, that makes for an intriguing storyline with the Money in the Bank. So
Yeah,
Do we see Finn and Seth have a hell of a match, and then Damian Priest cashes it in because he keeps saying he's going to cash it in? Or because that would be kind of cool. They have a hell of a match, beat the hell out of each other. Rollins gets the pin barely. Damian cashes in, wins. And now you got Finn looking at him like, well, I did all the hard work. Like, all you did is come in
Yeah.
and get the pin. So definitely some intriguing aspects of that. But I do think it's going to be Seth Rollins walking out as the champion.
Yes, sir. I totally agree. And this, I don't think this will be the end with Seth and Finn somehow. I'm trying to back book what could happen because Finn was so pissed and you ruined my career and made it really really personal. So I don't think this is the end. It'll end some way to enable. So Seth ends up getting DQ'd for something, but it really was Damien's fault or you know Rhea or somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Seth wins by DQ, and that enables Finn to get one more crack, and that would probably be when Damien would cash in. But it would have to be just right to not upset Judgment Day, because that's going to be right as the Bloodline is either no more or whatever the new configuration is after this tribal match. So it's gonna be interesting coming out of this, just like we were always talking about coming out of WrestleMania or after what is it, Payback, after what's the after WrestleMania, what's the next one?
Backlash, yeah.
So yeah, I think this will really reset some storylines. I think this is gonna be a good one right here.
Yep, I agree. I think it'll be a decent match, and yeah. So next is this little dude named Cody Rhodes finishing a story against Brock Lesnar.
Cody. Let me Google that.
Yeah,
Gotta find
Google.
my
I don't.
phone.
I don't. He's not over at all. So I don't. I don't even know why he's got a SummerSlam match. Who's this
I
guy?
almost just went, whoa!
Just saying
Man,
it. Yeah.
the nightmare is going to be a nightmare for the Beast incarnate, and old Cody is going to come out the victor. And
Do you think they juice in this match?
oh yeah,
I do too.
I think both of them.
Me too.
I think both of them are going to let her rip, and yeah, Cody's going to get it in. There's definitely going to be plus or minus one of the announce tables is going to be gone. At least one set of stairs is going to go flying. I thought, like you said, I thought it was going to be a stipulation match, a cowbell or a bull rope match or a strap match or something. So I don't. I agree with you. I don't think it's just going to be a regular match because he keeps talking about I want to fight. So we'll see what Brock ends up bringing out of the American Nightmare. But they're both going to bleed, and Cody's going to come out the victor though.
Yeah, I agree. I think Cody comes over, and it could be that Brock and Cody have talked about it, and they're just going to put Cody over clean and give him that push, which would be a really big rub because not many people go over clean over Lesnar ever. So it'd be interesting. Undertaker never did.
Yeah.
So talk about a huge rub if he does that. I hope that's what happened. I hope it's not like a surprise roll up or something, or I don't know, something goofy. Like I hope it's hits him with a crossroads 1, 2, 3, gets the pin, or makes him tap.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh
yeah,
man! If he gets the tap out of the figure four, shoo, that would be a huge feather in Cody's cap, and really, man, that's solid. I was thinking just get the victory, and get out of there alive, and he'll be there. He'll be on Monday Night Raw. So, what do you want to talk about? Who's the next one in the in the progression of Cody? And
well, that's what I was going to ask you. So do you think after this Brock feud's over, do you think he goes for Rollins, or because we saw that after the last one, Rollins came out and said he's going to fight anybody, and Cody comes out, but then Brock's music kicks, so he leaves. However, with the Judgment Day stuff going on, do you insert Cody into that right now? Does Cody win this match but takes a couple weeks off because he's hurt? Like, I'm just curious how they're going to do this.
Yeah, I think you're going to want to capitalize Cody beating Brock, but as a babyface, you could also get a little more sympathy where Brock shows up on Monday and is like, Cody, you may have got me. I'm not going to forget this. And then he goes and like messes someone else up and then moves into a program, not with Lashley or, anyone like that, but he slips into a program, or maybe they both go away. Yeah, I think Lesnar needs to be on to add some credibility to Cody getting over and going over. Yeah, this will be a good one because this is extremely critical to the build to finishing the story. So yeah, I think he goes over, he gets over, but how, and then what's the next step? Because I don't think you have him in a program right now with Gunther, because Gunther has the Intercontinental title,
Right.
and Cody's not going to win the Intercontinental title. Yeah, man, that's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know unless you're gonna stretch this out even further. Like, do you have Brock go over and then set up a stip match? But I just think
Hmm.
I think if you do that, you're dragging it out too far to
Yeah.
the point where, like, all right, like we get it. He's beat him up in front of his mom. He's this and that. So I don't think. Yeah, I think Cody has to win this. But then again, we all thought
Hmm.
Cody had to win at WrestleMania.
Oh,
So,
too soon. Too soon.
but I just don't know what's next for him
Woo.
after this, which I guess we shouldn't know, right? Like that's the whole point of the
Yeah.
booking and what they're going to do. Yeah, so curious on that one, but I'm aligned with you. I think Cody wins. Whether it's hopefully it's not by that surprise roll up like he got him with the first time. The second time he passed out, not tapped out. So yeah, they got to have a clean ending to this, and we'll see what they do. But yeah, I'm aligned. I think Cody gets it.
Or if they do want to drag it out, they're battling. Cody goes through the table or the announce table. Cody is fighting and they go over the railing and now they're fighting in the crowd. They get counted out.
Yep.
And now they can go to payback and Cody's going to get payback for Brock Lesnar costing him the inaugural world championship. He gets the win, and now we start the trajectory of finishing the story.
Yep.
But who is next? Is it? Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of who would be a daunting task for Cody to get, to get past. Does Randy return? And I'm the legend killer, I'm this, I'm that. You're no legend, but then you're ruining RKO's return. So
I think you nailed it though. Now that you say this, I'm wondering if you're right, if this goes to a no contest, either a time limit draw, count out, something to that effect, because I don't see anything in the horizon for Cody. Like, I could see stretching it out to payback and making it a no disqualification, falls count anywhere, whatever you want to call it, match.
right.
And then by then we kind of could start seeing, okay, what does the title picture look like? Who's doing what? So, like, yeah, that's a good call. I could that's very WWE booking for me. I
Yeah.
think that's a good call.
Yeah, because you got them 50-50 right now.
Yep.
And then basically, no contest. Now it's 1-1-1. There's got to be an ending. I'm getting payback. You cost me the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cody. Why don't you come on down here? And, I don't think Brock would handcuff him, but somehow there ends up being like a bull rope or, because they talked about the cow or the no cowboy or whatever. So, yeah, that'd be a good time to stip it up.
So last match, and we're running out of time, so we'll knock this one out real quick because it's not a big deal anyway. It's just Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns in a
Yeah,
tribal
that's
combat
all.
match.
Just a
What?
couple
First of
family
all,
members having a conversation.
yeah. What the hell is a tribal combat match? I guess we'll find out going into the show. My assumption is
Oh,
it's gonna be a no DQ, and then kind of like the Viking Raiders match, they'll have like tribal stuff around. I don't know. Do they bring some of the elders in ringside to judge it? Like I don't know what they're gonna do with it. Uh, and I gotta say Roman Reigns wins this. Um, but I don't know if he wins it clean. If Jimmy gets involved and attacks Jay, does Solo get involved and attack Roman, and then he get I don't know how to call this one, man. I mean I know obviously Roman Reigns is not going to lose the championship, and he's not going to not be the tribal chief. I just don't see. I don't know how this is going to end. So I'm definitely curious to get some of your feedback on it because I'm kind of blind on this one. I don't know. I'm not sure.
yeah. So first, my WWE brain was like, okay, Roman's gonna win. Like you said, he's got to be the tribal chief. Then, how do they get to it? Jimmy comes in, inadvertently super kicks Jay, and then Solo spikes Jimmy, Solo spikes Jay, and then Roman gets the pin, and he's pissed because Solo did stuff, and now that causes a little friction there. Then I thought of like something's going on. Solo goes to spike Roman, but misses and hits Jay. So Roman gets the pin, and Solo's pissed because he was trying to help his brothers. Um, then I was thinking, like originally, I was thinking, so combat rules. We're gonna have the Samoan lay on like a pole or on a ladder, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, please don't make this a credible battle against a
Yep.
couple of members of one of the most historic families in wrestling. Let's not cartoon this up and make it, like when they did that
Oh my
zombie
gosh.
battle royal.
Yeah.
God. So I think Roman wins. There is some family chicanery. What I was thinking with the battle, the tribal battle, there's the elders, and there's some kind of scoring system.
That's what I was thinking.
And every time they score a point by doing something, the other one gets distracted. How could he get a point? This is ridiculous. First one to 7, or for the 7 sons of the Samoan dynasty, or whatever, however they
Yeah.
want to sell. But yeah, I don't. It's going to be a no DQ. There's going to be trash cans and kendo sticks or something,
Yeah.
and Roman gets the win, and it doesn't end the bloodline.
Oh yeah. There's still
There's
stuff
going to be
going.
another layer to it. Maybe an elder gets involved. Maybe Rikishi
Yeah.
tells
Maybe The
Jay.
Rock.
Yeah, I've heard The Rock. The Rock has been rumored to be showing up because Waller
Yep.
has been calling him
Talking
out.
trash to him.
And I'm like, wait a minute. They're going to bring The Rock out for SummerSlam, but they didn't bring him out for WrestleMania? Come on now.
Yeah.
But
But
what are you
yeah.
going to do?
We'll see, man. So let us know what you guys think in the comments below on Rumble and on YouTube. Let us know. We like to hear back from what everybody thinks. What do you think is going to happen? What did you think of Raw? And we will do a SummerSlam review next week. Probably after the show, probably next Tuesday. It'll be a kind of like we did Raw and SummerSlam today. We'll do Raw and Fallout from SummerSlam, and I don't know. We'll figure it out in our schedules. But appreciate everybody listening on. We actually ended up going a little over an hour, which I thought we were going to end up being short today. So I always love it when we get together and start talking wrestling because our brains start
Yeah.
firing off and we start predicting and thinking about stuff. As always, if you want to get in touch with us, follow us on X. Is it called now? Twitter X, Twitter, whatever they're calling it now. No Shave Man Cave. We're also on Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Are we on that new one yet? The one
We
Blue
are waiting
Thunder,
for our invite. Blue Sky, if you're
Blue
listening,
Sky.
come check us out. We are ready for your platform. We're gonna make it bigger than Rumble, than Twitter, Instagram, and Threads all combined. Let's do this.
Yep. So No Shave Man Cave, pretty easy. It's spelt as it said. If you want to get in touch with us by email, it's noshavemancave@gmail.com. Listen to our audio podcast, wherever you get your podcast from, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get it. No Shave Man Cave. Give us a listen. If you hadn't had a chance, check us out on Thunder Nights. Thunder Rosa had us on her show last week on Monday. Fantastic show. Had a blast. Go check it out. Drop a comment. Tell her we sent you over there to check it out and see if we can't get on there some more. Appreciate everybody hitting us up. Remember to like, share, subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. You can always change your mind later. But we appreciate it from the bottom of our hearts. Time for the hot tag and the Marine to take us out.
Bump and feed. Hey, thanks a lot, Jay Tilly. Good to see you, man. As always, to all of our friends, to all of our family, to the fam. Hey, thanks for checking us out. Thanks for all the support. Keep it coming. We love it. Until next time, fam, friends, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other.